Students, the first topic in the unit laws of motion is inertia. What is inertia? First of all, we have to understand the meaning of inertia. Suppose we consider a book is placed on the table. The book will remain on the table for 1 day, 1 week, 1 month unless otherwise an external force is applied on it to produce a change of state. In the same way, if a bus or a car is moving, it will continue to move in a straight line unless we apply an external force, for example brakes, to bring it to rest. So it is the tendency of a body to maintain its state of motion or rest. This tendency of a body is called inertia. So what is inertia? Inertia of a body is the property by virtue of which it opposes any change in its state of motion or rest. Clear to all? What is inertia? Inertia is the property by virtue of which it opposes any change in its position of motion or rest. So that is the definition of inertia. So inertia is of two types. One is called inertia of motion, and the second one is called rest, that is inertia of rest. So inertia is of two types. One is called inertia of motion and one is called inertia of rest. If a body is moving, for example, bus is moving very fast and we apply suddenly brakes in the bus, what will happen? We shall fall in the forward direction. Suppose a passenger is sitting in a car is moving very fast and suddenly brakes are applied, then the passengers always fall in the forward direction. It is due to inertia of motion. Similarly, if we are sitting in a bus and suddenly bus starts to move, then the lower part of our body, which was in contact with bus, starts to move along with the bus, but the upper part was at rest and will remain at rest, due to which we shall fall in backward direction. So this is due to inertia of rest. So in this way, inertia is of two types, inertia of motion and inertia of rest. In NCERT book, inertia is given of two types, but keep in mind there is one more type of inertia that is called inertia of direction. Inertia of direction. When a curve comes, to move the car, to move the automobile, we have to apply a force to change the direction. So when we are applying force to change the direction, then it is called inertia of direction. So this is all about inertia. Property of body by virtue of which it opposes any change in its state of motion or rest is called inertia. Inertia is of two types, inertia of motion and inertia of rest. Now comes the word, boys or girls, force. What is force? Students, force is a kind of pull or tension which can bring about any change in the state of rest or motion of a body. What is force? Force is a kind of push, pull or tension. You can say push, pull or tension which can bring about a change in the state of motion or rest of the body. Also, force can produce a change in configuration. Configuration means shape. Suppose I have a balloon and I apply the force, then the shape of the balloon will change. So thus, Force is a kind of push, pull or tension which can bring about a change in the state of motion or rest of a body, or we can say it can bring about change in the configuration of body. So what is force? A kind of push, pull or tension which can change state of motion of a body, or change in configuration of body. Now, forces are of two types. One is called balanced force and one is called unbalanced force. So when we apply force on a body, forces are of two types. One is called balanced force and one is called unbalanced force. What is the meaning of balanced forces? If sum of all applied forces is 0, then it is called balanced force. Suppose on the body we have applied so many forces and the sum of all the forces is 0, then that is called balanced force. Summation F is equal to 0. Summation means sum. Sum of all the forces 0, then it is called balanced force. Balanced force cannot produce a change of state. Unbalanced force, sum of all applied forces is not 0. That is, summation F is not equal to 0. Then it is called unbalanced force. Keep in mind, to produce change of state, we need unbalanced force. Balanced force can never produce a change of state. If a body is at rest and we apply the balanced force, body will remain at rest. And if a body is in motion, continue to move. But if the force is unbalanced, then change of state will